This is a creative and present time adaptation of a narrative that has been published in the US, the UK, and many other places. For me, it was inspired by the work of social critic, satirist, and highly expressive comedian George Carlin, who gained national popularity in the late 1960s and continued his high-profile artistry and wordplay throughout the 1970s, 80s, and beyond until his death in 2008. We gather here today to honor the passing of a time-honored and beloved friend, Common Sense, who has been with us for many years. No one really knows how old he actually was, since his birth records were lost long ago in redaction, distraction, hyperbole, and self-centeredness. He will be remembered as having cultivated such valuable lessons as paying attention, thinking before speaking and taking action, realizing that people don't always play by the rules of do unto others, knowing when to come in out of the rain, and accepting that personal and social responsibility and self-reliance are very important. Common Sense lived by reasonable and reliable financial policies, such as don't spend more than you make, and simple life strategies like adults, not children, should be in charge, and adults should use their experience to transform themselves, become better persons, and give good example. His health began to deteriorate rapidly when regulations to protect families and consumers were reduced and went under-enforced, and cost-cutting to raise corporate profits got out of whack. Ongoing reports of needless layoffs, veterans' neglect, scapegoating the poor and underserved to further enrich the 1%, discarding the growing needs of the homeless and mentally challenged, limiting access to women's rights and women's health, selectively denigrating immigrants and denying safe harbor to refugees, stacking the deck against fair education, and allowing technology and artificial intelligence to befuddle the minds of unknowing adults and unwilling children, all only served to worsen his condition. Common Sense lost ground when science was denied, school books were banned, and self-righteous parents attacked educators for doing the job that they themselves had failed to do. Common Sense lost even more as places of worship became businesses, and businesses scoured the world for ever cheaper labor and other nations' resources, while making big bucks by overcharging and convincing consumers that they must have what they may have previously not even wanted. Common Sense experienced a generational setback as guns proliferated like weeds and fell into the hands of desperate, unloved adolescents. And drugs were packaged like candy and sold in and around schools by other adolescents. Common Sense finally gave up the will to live after leaders stopped leading. Ethics fled to the forest. Morality dried up like a raisin in the sun, and positive regard for the common good hit the road. Common Sense was preceded in death by his parents, reality and honesty, by his wife, prudence, by his daughter, reliability, and by his two sons, rhyme and reason. He is survived by 3 stepbrothers: indifference, I know my rights, and I want it regardless. And also by 1 stepdaughter, I wish they had taught me better. His funeral was sparsely attended because so few actually realized he had passed on. If you wish to remember him, I suggest that you befriend him. If not, carry on, and we'll just see what happens.